Well, here we are again.
Oh my goodness, it's Monday once again, August 22nd, 2022.
Is it 2022? I mean, is it 822?
It is 822 on 2022 and episode 116.
So what's cool though is in 20 minutes from right now, where you are, it will actually be 822.
It will be 822 on 822.
And before we even start the movie, we already have an oof.
We've got an oof. It's an oofer already.
Oof.
Well, we'll have to find out exactly what the oof is tonight, because this is the EriDan Film Festival where we gather together with friends and family to talk about movies. And tonight we're going to talk about HUGO. Scorsese.
I know.
Sounds fancy.
Like I kept forgetting it was him.
Well, we'll talk about that because we want people, we want you to talk to us too. If you've never joined us before, of course, it's so very easy to do.
Oh,
and what should they do?
It's so easy, barely an inconvenience. I mean, it's not a problem, barely an inconvenience. You go to EriDanLive.com and you can be in one of these boxes. We can have 10 of these boxes going at once.
Well, that'd be fantastic. And we would love to hear from you. And we're gonna open some boxes, shall we?
It's like Christmas. Morning. Yeah. Ooh.
Monsieur.
Hello.
This just in, it's Dave. It's such a news flash.
It is a bit of a news flash.
Yeah, it's such a surprise.
Eventually, if I get laid off, there'll be all new intros again. I promise.
Are you anticipating?
Why would you say such a thing? Wow.
I like to talk about the worst possible things, and then when that doesn't happen, everything's fine. Speaking of which, I love the hat.
There, he's got the EriDan hat.
That hat. You guys matching outfits?
Sorta.
Is that Ron John?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cocoa Beach, Florida.
That's Wade.
Oregon gun at Ocean City, Maryland.
Oh, they have one there too?
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't.
So that must mean that Stacy's the skipper.
No.
At some point, grab the hat and hit him with it.
I was thinking Marianne.
That's a little better. I was gonna say.
Well, Gilligan never got that close to Marianne.
Except when she sold him pot and he got busted for it.
Gilligan's Island After Dark. What happens on the island stays on the island.
Everything stayed on the island.
That's true. Everybody stayed on the island.
3-hour tour.
One ring to rule the moon. One ring to fight.
It's Brittany.
Brittany coming from her hacker lair in.
Was that Christopher Lee's voice?
I can't.
Huh? Oh yeah.
I cannot
So
tell
that's
you
tie into our movie.
how satisfying that intro is, knowing that my marathon's coming up in a couple weeks. I'm like,
the no sleep Lord of the Rings.
oh no, we sleep. We stretched it out, so we sleep.
Okay. Well, that's good at least. It's, safety first.
Yeah.
Get an IV drip, settle back.
Speaking of safety,
are you going to be watching Lord of the Rings?
I missed that one.
Series?
No.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Ever?
Nope.
You're boycotting the series?
Yep.
Oh, we'll have to talk about that later. All right. Speaking of boycotting, from locations unknown, it is Brian with no cat on the back of his chair.
No, there's no cat this time. No. Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I don't know. Today was the day.
Today.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess that's better than it being a week.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Brittany having enough.
Huh?
Brittany just left us.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Well, I'm sorry you had a day, I guess.
it was upsetting. I got some rejections back in the email for jobs and stuff, and
Oh.
pretty upset about it. There was a lot all at once. So
Oh.
That sucks.
Well, you
I,
sent them
I
out all at
remember it.
once, right?
what was it?
Did you send them all out at once?
They weren't all from the same day, no. So
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it does suck, but you know what sucks worse is never hearing back.
yeah.
And then it's like there's a job 9 years ago that I'm still waiting to hear back from.
Well, what I found when I was
They're
in my
still
job,
thinking about it, Dan. Come on.
that's right. When I was in my job search, I know that like a lot of the places, they expect you to log back into the portal that you interviewed, that you filled out your form for, and in there you'll find your rejection. It's like, oh, well, if you're looking for a rejection, come back later, and it'll be here.
right. Yeah.
You should name your portal youarerejected.com. It's really kind of discouraging.
It's not the most. Speaking of discouraging, no, let's talk about a movie.
We don't have anybody else. I'm like, who else joined?
Let's dive in this movie. We'll try to distract Brian from his day of.
Well, the movie didn't work for that.
Well, let's discover who was made for a purpose. No, I'm sorry. Here we go. Hugo, unlock the secret. We're talking about Asa Butterfield, Chloe Grace Moretz, Ben Kingsley, Sacha Baron Cohen,
He's
Ray
nice.
Stone, Emily Mortimer, and Jude Law.
For 3 whole minutes. Shoot off.
Yeah, right.
Stacey. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Jude Law because honestly, I felt he was one of the best parts of the movie for the 8 seconds he was on screen. Budget of 170 million, worldwide gross 186 million. So they made some pocket change. Audience,
it was considered a failure.
Audience not loving it as much as the critics. 78 from the audience, 93 from the critics. That's a 78 from the audience.
It makes sense when you think about it. It is a movie about movies.
Yeah.
So you figure a lot of movie critics are movie historians to some degree, so they're a bit of a built-in audience.
That's true. So Wade, were you the built-in audience? Because this is your recommendation, right?
When I finally saw it, it was like, oh, that's really cool because I took history of film and cinema in college and liked that, and I like the silent movie era. I mean, it was pretty incredible. It would have been so cool to have been alive back then to be able.
And I think obviously it's a very pretty movie, and I feel they showcased those classic movies very well. They how they showed how they filmed it, how they made that.
Well, that's where a lot of the budget went. Scorsese actually built that greenhouse. He reconstructed it based on the original plans.
Wow.
He built the sets that they filmed, that they recreated some of those original films on. He put a lot of money into this.
Such a good idea. No, I'm sorry.
I was just when I saw the budget, I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was also his first, and I think his only 3D movie.
Yes,
It was 3D?
I believe so.
It was a 3D movie.
I didn't notice.
In fact, James Cameron, after he saw it, said that was the best use of 3D he'd ever seen in a film, and that was after he'd made Avatar.
Wow.
Well, dang, I didn't see it in 3D.
Avatar.
I can't think of anything that was like
I don't
exciting.
know how you would see it at 3D right now. Unless
The
you
train
were-
coming at you. And
Yeah. there's
Oh,
that.
yeah.
that would.
I mean,
That's,
when they first,
I don't remember if we saw it in 3D or not, but I would like to see it in 3D because the best 3D movies don't jump in your face. They don't make the 3D a gimmick. They make it a part of the storytelling. It's not like the 50s with William Castle, Hey, did you see what I got in the mail today?
This ladder is so long. Whoa!
when they first showcased that train, I don't even know what the film. It's a silent film, the train, and it comes at you know what I mean. I don't know what it's called. The original people who started making
the Lumiere
movies,
brothers.
they everybody did think that it was like a 3D. It was like coming at them and stuff.
Well, that's supposedly apocryphal. If you read up on it online, that there's disagreement whether that really happened, but
well, it wouldn't be in a theater because they'd be showing it just to like random people.
Right.
Like they wouldn't it wouldn't be like a group of, it'd be like one or two here and there, I would imagine. Because it was so like.
Well, the Lumiere brothers were touring with an exhibition, so it would have been whenever they were showing it.
Oh, I I didn't know they were exact. I remember
It's probably old
reading
vaudeville
about
theaters.
something where they when they first showed films, it was just like, you know, at people's houses or whatever.
Yeah, they did them a lot at like the World's Fair and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
They found big
Right.
exhibitions to take the show because they were still trying to make some money on it. It was not a there were no theaters to show them in, as you said, so they had to figure out what venues they could use to actually try to get
Right.
customers.
Weren't there vaudeville theaters already?
Yeah, but they weren't set up for screening films.
Right. I thought maybe that's when they first started doing their
Hmm.
vaudeville.
So here's my hot take outside of Adam's oof. I think I feel like the classic movie stuff on this works really well.
Yeah.
I think the kids' story in this is a little rough, right?
Yeah.
My biggest problem with it was the casting of Isabella. I don't. She is an actress. Maybe she's much better now because she was 12 years old. So I'm not going to say she's a bad actress, but she looked like she was acting a lot of the time she was on screen.
Well, the Hugo kid had the same face like
Yeah.
every time he had a close up.
Butterfield, yeah.
Well, and I feel
Every
I
time.
feel like this is a problem that I personally have when I feel like sometimes when you have kid actors and they're trying to give them very adult lines or they're trying to get them to do adult movements that maybe like a natural maybe a natural 12-year-old kid doesn't necessarily slump in a chair and run his hands through his hair, right? But and it's like I don't know if that comes naturally at 11 years old.
On the other hand, if you watch the videos of, if you watch the videos of the original Georges Méliès, he looks so much like Ben Kingsley. I mean,
He really does. I noticed that too.
And Kingsley's a great actor. So you combine that with that was some of the best parts of the movie. I just loved watching Ben Kingsley in this,
Mm-hmm. I think
even when he isn't the Manchurian.
I didn't mind the kid's story so much. It picked up. It was so slow.
Yeah.
Like it for the longest time, him just trying to put that robot together, so slow. But I wasn't not that I wasn't a fan of like the side stories like of other things happening in the train station, but I feel like those ate up a lot of time. Like there was like a lot of Harry Potter cast in there, and like the scene with Vernon and Dursley and Madame Maxine and the puppies and like
Madame Maxine.
like that took so long, and I really did not like the police officer and his little like love story with like I don't know, that just sucked up so much time that could have been put into the rest of the story that would have made it pick up a little bit of pace and would have I think helped.
I disagree. I like those things more than the kids. I
too.
love
so
the police
funny.
officer.
Yeah.
I was telling Brittany that I texted her while I was watching. I was like, I love the police officer.
Well, the police officer was like old school. Whether you're going back to Inspector Clouseau or whether
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Did anybody used to watch Lazy Town? No, I know I had kids right when Lazy Town was big.
Yep.
Did you get Lazy Town vibes?
Yes.
Of Robbie Rotten.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
question.
I was thinking Pink Panther.
Yeah. My question about these characters in side stories is, are they original to the book? Which is why they made this movie. And I forgot to grab the book while I was at work today. Oops. Because I haven't looked at it in a few years. So I wasn't sure if those were stories that were concurrent in the book like they were in the movie, or if they added those.
Did you say the book was mostly pictures?
That's so fun.
Like almost all pictures.
I
the
really
fascinating
loved
thing about that film is, even though it was one of his films that survived, for decades it was only shown in black and white until they rediscovered one hand-tinted print somewhere in Europe about 15, 20 years ago. And now they know what the color was supposed to look like. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wade and I took the same course at Penn State, and they showed that and some really cool old films. And that was
some of the effects that he did with completely in camera. Some of it looked really cheesy, obviously, but some of it, like when he was putting his head up in the musical staffs and things like that, that was really actually quite cool.
Oh, yeah. No, it's very cool. As I said, the classic movie stuff to this I thought was really good. It felt to me like it was, and maybe why the movie didn't do as well, because it's not clear to me who the audience for this movie
Yeah.
is.
Right.
Yeah.
My kids were young enough when they were into Harry Potter. They would have been bored to death by the classic movie stuff.
Yeah.
They might have been interested in the young kids stuff,
Mhm.
right? But then people who are definitely all about the old movie stuff, the kids stuff gets a little, and it's very predictable and like, oh, he's going back to go get the thing, but he's going to go get the automaton, but they already know that the uncle's dead, and it's like, can we just get past this? That part where the movie was so interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie from it was around the same era as this? Remember Julie and Julia?
Yes, I love that movie.
Which, well, it's weird because that movie to me reminds me of this movie in the sense that that's two different movies. It's the movie of Julia Child with Meryl Streep that I love, and it's the movie of this blogger by Amy Adams that I just find annoying. And I wish the movie were just the whole movie with Meryl Streep playing Julia Child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna comment.
I have to agree.
I agree with that. Like,
I'm not as down on it as that, but I agree that was the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah, like I thought it was like if you cut the movie in half and just watch the last part of it, like
definitely that last.
It was much better.
Yeah,
there was also problems, and a lot of kids' movies run into this problem where it's like, if you would have just said, "Oh, my uncle," if you would have just told, the inspector that, "Oh, my uncle," instead of "I don't have parents," "Oh, my uncle is so and so," or what, if he would have said that to the guy when he was taking the notebook, just say where he got the notebook. He's like, why?
Yeah, he was unnecessarily secretive.
Yes.
And
Which
a lot of
is
that
what
could have
caused the whole storyline of the movie. Without that,
well, I cut him some slack. He was pretty traumatized, but still.
Yeah.
And kids were secretive. You kept secrets. My family, you don't talk about anything. My mom, seriously, there are secrets, and there's still secrets.
Well, with your family, I understand. No, I'm kidding.
I know, right? So
I don't know your family anything either.
Not that I think that
where you
did this, but
is this where you get into you wish the whole movie had Jude Law in it?
Honestly, I did enjoy that storyline so much more, and I feel like there could have been much more of that.
Right.
Then instantly the really bad burst of flames coming up the stairwell.
It was not the best effect.
It was not.
Although in 3D.
That was not where the money was spent. But yeah, I enjoyed that part, and it's like, all right, that made me feel a little more sympathetic, but it was such a short, it's they sort of glossed over that, I thought, a little quickly.
Yeah, it was I think Scorsese was trying to balance a couple of things. It's clearly it was an homage to filmmaking, an homage to the history of cinema.
Clearly,
which
yes.
is, I mean, he's a chair of one of the most influential cinema restoration and preservation organizations in the world. So that's something that's greatly in his.
He knows a thing or two,
right? Line, but on the other hand, he was trying to make a movie of the book, and the book has HUGO in it, and has it's you can't just throw that all out completely.
Pretty much, it's called The Invention of Hugo Cabret. So yeah.
And it was weird that they were in France with an English accent.
Yeah,
that was one of Richard's biggest comments when we were watching it. He's like, "There's so much of this that's like all about France and French, but their accents are so English."
Yeah, but if you want to make it accurate, they'd be speaking French, and you don't want that.
Right.
So what difference does it make what accent they have? Does French people speaking English with a French accent make it more legitimate?
Well, if they're supposed to be in France.
Yeah.
They could have done
if they're in France, they'd be speaking French.
Here's the thing.
They could have done it. They pulled it off in Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have done it in Klingon.
Hey, if Sean Connery can pass as Russian.
They do this in movies all the time. That's what Dave just said. And so that's how you have to look at it. It happened to be British actors playing French.
It's something that maybe
Americans doing it.
It's not like they put someone with a southern drawl in it or something. It's
what that Chloe girl. She's not British. She's American. So she was faking a British accent.
Did she even have a British accent?
Yeah.
I
And then
Or we could have commented.
and then Brittany
The
shared
Australian
something
accent that
interesting.
was terrible. Oh, sorry.
Brittany shared the fact that Johnny Depp was on the set, although it looks like it might have just been an extra.
I
He
think
was
that
one
was
of
a
the,
cameo that he had because he was a producer of the movie.
Yeah, he's one of the producers.
Oh, so maybe he's
There were a bunch of cameos. There were also they had a lot of small characters that were actually, Django Reinhardt was in it, and I think that was supposed to be Picasso. I'm assuming as Johnny Depp there. So supposedly there was somebody supposed to be Winston Churchill passing through in one scene and things like that. So yeah,
quite interesting.
Can see that.
Very interesting. Rebecca says she thinks the Parisian setting explains the kids' mature dialogue a little.
because in France they start smoking at age 7.
Yeah, well, yes,
Drinking at age
those
6.
were ridiculousness. It's not right.
It's weird though because we saw this in theaters and I remember leaving and we liked it, but neither Margaret and I could remember why did we buy the Blu-ray of this. Because we didn't like it that much. I mean, we enjoyed it. We're
Maybe
glad
it
we
was a
saw
gift.
it, but it's not one we needed to own. For some reason, it's on our shelf and we don't remember why.
I wonder if it was a gift.
A yard sale find or
It could
something.
have been a gift. It could have been a really awesome sale somewhere, like picked up a yard sale even. Who knows? But we don't remember.
Maybe the Columbia House of DVDs and Blu-rays came out and you got it for a penny.
We got 10 for $1. Yeah.
Yeah.
And only had to buy 5 more over the next 2 years at full price.
It's bound to happen.
Yep.
Well,
I think it's that time.
is it that time? I think it is that time. Yo ho ho. Time
All
to
right.
throw some
Well,
numbers around.
whose movie was this again?
It was Wade's.
Wade's movie.
Wade. Wade.
Hey.
Isabel and Hugo, you can start it off.
So it's probably the main reason that I kind of picked it was because it was like an homage to the movies, the silent movies, cinema and things. And it was kind of interesting and cute when I watched it the first time. And the second time, it was still pretty good. So with all that, I'm gonna say give it an 80 for me.
All right.
He said we watched it before, and I remembered a few pieces of it, not very much. There are things I'm like, I remember the automaton, and I remembered Sacha Baron Cohen and being annoyed with him and that whole storyline, why he had to be so. Yeah, I just, And I think that's why he didn't tell anybody that he had no parents, because they were all getting thrown in jail and going to the orphanage, which it seemed over the top and caricature. I don't know. His character was odd.
It reminded me of the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
And I loved the parts, the vignettes in the train station. I liked watching that. It was voyeuristic, I think, is why at first, especially, and watching things develop. And then you're in the middle of it at the end. So it was kind of strange. But yeah, my score, it's not something I would ever want to watch again. And I did want to grab the book at work today, but since I was in a new library today, I just didn't even cross my mind.
Do they have a different system of filing that? I guess not. The Dewey Decimals.
They have a different alphabet.
No, it's just it was my first day, so
You don't want to start stealing books your first day.
You had other things on your mind.
I did have a lot of other things on my mind. And if I had put a hold on it and looked at my record, it would have been all right, but I forgot. Anyway, so I wanted to do that and compare it. So I'll have to grab it tomorrow and take a look through it. I think I'm going to have to give it a 78.
All right. So let's go to Monsieur.
I love Christopher Lee's voice. So they had two really great actors in this. Christopher Lee in a fairly small role and Ben Kingsley in a really meaty role. And that was watching Ben Kingsley on screen was a lot of fun. And both because I love the actor and because his storyline was the most interesting storyline in the film. So that was the highlight. I didn't find the kids as annoying as some people did, but I do agree that that was not the strongest part of the movie. It to me, the movie worked, but there was a better movie here somehow. I'm not sure what exactly I would have changed, but it just felt like it was incomplete somehow. But I still liked it. Like I said, we saw it in theaters, and I remembered enjoying it then, and I enjoyed it this time. But it's definitely not one that if I'm flipping around, I'm going to go, "Ooh, Hugo's on." So I think I'm pretty much in sync with Stacy on this one. I'm somewhere in the 70s. I think I'll go 78.
All right.
All right.
Let's head over to Brittany. Brittany. One.
I think it was okay. It was cute, and it was cute and quirky for what it was. I enjoyed watching it, but I again don't know that it's anything that I would go out of my way to watch again. Like I guess if it was, on, I would just maybe leave it in the background or something, but not anything that I would be anxious to sit down and see again. I thought it was really interesting, like some of the things in his dream that he had, where like the train goes through the station, like that was a movie that he made that you saw in like the film at the end that you saw, like he had made a film with a train crashing like that, and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of creative to do that, but I think I will say 78 as well.
Wow.
I'm seeing a theme here.
That is the audience score.
Richard says he didn't quite understand the purpose of Hugo's character to be so cryptic about information. Clear French atmosphere, English accents everywhere. Sasha's character was my favorite. A 65. 65.
65.
Brian.
Is that the policeman, Sasha? I don't know.
Yes, Sasha Baron Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Borat.
My favorite too. I also like the dog that always tried to bite that guy. That was good. Anyway, I like the I mean, it's filmed well and stuff. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm having a bad day, and then I don't want to like spoilers or anything, but like towards the end of the movie, it made me cry because of my bad day. So I'm gonna take some points over that. Sorry. But
Wow.
You make me cry.
but like it is about movies, and I really like the ending. I didn't like the beginning like at all. So I'm still in the 70s. I'm gonna give it a 75.
Yeah, I did. I will say I didn't really comment on. There were some really impressively choreographed shots in this.
Yeah, the shots were great. Yeah,
Extreme long shots that just panned through long sequences. Really, really well done. You could tell it was made by a very skilled filmmaker, even if the film didn't always resonate.
The other thing I noticed was like the color was like just wonderful. You have the police officer. He's in this like really saturated blue, and then everyone else is around in the mob is like desaturated colors. So it makes him stick out a lot.
Yes.
When he's like going through the crowd and everything, and I really liked that they used color for that too. So yeah.
And Rebecca says, I thought it was a solid family movie. It has a wide appeal in her opinion. She's going to go a little higher than everyone else. She's giving it an 85.
Ooh.
And I'm going to repeat a lot of things you've already said. Obviously, the opening shot was completely digital. That was not a drone shot going through. If you slow it down, you could actually see that the people were fake. But it is obviously one of the best cinematographers of our time, Martin Scorsese. He kind of talks fast. He's a fast talker. But I don't think, if I had to rank all of his movies, this would probably be near the bottom. So I'm going to kind of agree with everyone else, but I'm going to go with The Year I Was Born. I'm giving it a 70.
Ooh, wow. Harsh.
That's a C.
I'm just kidding.
It's not a movie I'd watch again.
Right.
I mean, I think I've said it. Everybody else has said it. I feel like there's the movie that Scorsese wanted to make, and then there's a movie he had to make to tell this story. Right. And so I feel like there wasn't a lot of love and attention given to the children's story. And that was the part that dragged for me. And yeah, the part that I emotionally connected to was the filmmaker and him rediscovering his purpose, which I thought was great, and so I'd give it 2 separate scores if I could, but I actually went with 78, the same with everybody else. We have once again come up with, I think, 4 78 so far. Oh, Adam not giving a 78. Adam bringing in a little reality to the situation at hand with a 38.
There you go.
He took points off for crying too, right?
It's higher than 20.
I think he may have been crying trying to get the 2 hours back.
Cried tears of boredom.
Was it 2 hours? I thought it was more like 3.
It was 2 hours and 6 minutes. Without the credits, it was exactly 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
that was a little too long.
You not watch the credit. No, I'm kidding.
That's why it felt like 2 separate things to me. Like I was like,
Yeah.
you cut it in half and just watch the end. It was all right.
Still almost a full-length feature film by itself.
It was almost a full-length feature film before it actually did the opening credit of Hugo.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I was like,
Yeah,
well, it's
I
also
found that
Hugo.
out.
I'm like, where did that come from?
So a tie with Yes Man.
Oh my, that's strange.
It is a strange combo, but there it is with a 72.50.
There were a lot of books in it.
Top Gun too. Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
I haven't seen Top Gun in a long time.
It is true. Just couldn't quite beat out Top Gun.
Was that Wade's movie too?
Yeah, that was my movie too.
So Wade has a spot.
72s, yeah.
And my mom. I don't know if my mom watched it. I haven't heard back from her yet. Or I don't know if she's watching.
Oh, so we might yet pass Top Gun.
It might. I'm pretty sure she'll give it a 72.
I would think so.
They were
No,
saying
you
this film took place in 1931, which means that Christopher Lee was the only actor in the cast who was alive at the time the film was set. He was born in 1920.
Wow.
That's interesting.
His character, I was confused a little bit at the beginning because
It was a smaller role than I felt like he deserved.
Well, and it was weird because like at the beginning, the first time he saw Hugo, he gives him like kind of like not like a dirty look, but like a dirty
side
look.
eye.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, you should have this book that I was going to give to my godson."
Well, I thought they were starting to be kind of nice to Hugo, but nobody offered to like let him get a bath or a clean pair of clothes.
Right,
Well,
but
nobody
like,
liked orphans back then.
so weird.
yeah,
But like, why
there was
didn't
too
he like
many
them
of
at the
them.
start?
It is
Like,
Paris. We do not bathe.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
oh.
Oh, that's terrible.
That is why we invented perfume, so we do not need to bathe.
Well,
Nobody noticed.
but perfume back then wasn't it made of like whale pee or something?
I think you're thinking of ambergris, which is not whale pee. But anyway,
Okay. Sorry.
It's
My
well
bad.
throw up.
Remember, it
Well
was called
Vomit.
yes,
It
it's
was
whale
Vomit.
it
Yes.
was
Yeah.
toilet water.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
so much better. That's so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that
Ode to la whale vomit.
It's real. Like French perfume. They still do it in some perfume companies.
It's still incredibly valuable. Ambergris, yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Hamburger helper? What'd you call it?
It's like they regurgitate stuff.
Oh.
It's gross.
That's very interesting.
But we don't have a double feature yet next week. We've got one more week before that,
We've
right?
got one more week, and new to the shop next week will be EriDan whale vomit. So watch for that.
Oh,
Get some limited
the smell of France.
EriDan Film
Is
Fest
next
whale
week going to be the birthday show, Eric? Are we going to do one of those again?
The Wahoo! Oh, your
My
birthday.
birthday's on Sunday. We're going to do a birthday show on Monday.
Man's birthday is.
Do I get to
next-
pick the movie?
No.
That's what we used to do it on birthdays.
We did that.
I
one.
tried to watch your favorite time
Uber.
travel movie, but I didn't have money for the renting it, so I didn't.
somewhere in time.
Unfortunately, yeah. I looked
If
it
you
up on
match
Amazon.
enough, you
I
can
was
go
like
back
gonna
into the
click it.
computers.
I'm going to send you a gift card to Amazon so you can watch it.
All right.
Oh,
'Cause I
there
really
you go.
think I want your opinion. I really do.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Man,
like
you
time
have
travel
enormous-
stuff. So
You have
Put
an
your
enormous
your
number-
email in the chat, in the
It is
private
a
chat.
divisive movie. Some people here absolutely love it, and some people can't stand it. So good luck.
I just want to see if the score will go up. Like, if
Yeah.
he would have scored it?
There are certain movies that, for whatever reason, people don't have a lot of middle ground on.
It's
Mike
true.
Menza was upset too that he wasn't on that episode because he would have probably given it in the high 90s. He said.
really.
Yeah.
See, and this is why you have to be here every week.
We only know that through Dan, though, so take it for what it's worth.
I love
Well,
time travel. It's fun, and I like you don't see the thought based time travel very much. So
There's a reason for that. All right, let's talk about next week's movie. All right,
what's
here's that.
Tubi?
Cody's trying to jump in here.
Tubi's an app.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
What?
oh yeah, Tubi's free.
Yeah,
it's
it's,
tele-
we watch all
Teletubby.
sorts of stuff on Tubi.
It's all the
I've never
Teletubbies.
heard of it. I will look it up. All right.
Looks like Cody. I don't know if it looks like
Cody's audio here. Let's see. Oh,
I don't know. Cody's there.
Hello.
I hear Cody.
All right, good. Cody's here just in time.
Did Cody watch the movie?
No, Cody did not watch the
Okay.
movie.
You
Is
did
Cody
not.
talking the third person?
Cody
No,
is talking.
Cody never talks in the third person.
So
I
Dan,
talked in
you
the fourth person once. I got
Dan
such a
and
headache.
Stacey, I think Dan and Stacey have the most number of spots on the wheel. So Dan, here, since your birthday is next week, you can determine whether we shuffle or not shuffle.
Or how many times we shuffle.
There you go.
Give it 3 shuffles.
3 shuffles. All right, here we go. There's shuffle number 1, shuffle number 2, shuffle number 3. Who knows who will get to choose next week's movie? Let's go. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna
4
be?
cross. And my toes are.
Oh my goodness! Look at all this, and it's gonna be Stacy, who I do think had more spaces on the wheel
Look
than
how
any-
close it was to Dan's, though. It was like 1 away from Dan's, I think.
I know. I was on both sides.
Actually,
Keeping the Ryder
How many
family.
times, man?
actually nowhere
I feel
close.
like it happens a lot.
2 shuffles would have worked. 3 was too many.
Yep.
It's very
Yeah.
possible. That is very possible. So, Stacy,
What's free at your new library?
that's true.
All the movies are free at the new library because I can get them from Chippewa or Beaver or
Ooh.
anywhere.
Or if
I
you
don't know. I
want,
have no idea. I have to think of a movie.
or if you want to gift your choice this week to Dan. No pressure. You can think about that.
Adam doesn't like us.
Oh, that's just
I miss
so.
them too. Yes.
That's just Denise. He doesn't miss those other dudes.
I think Birdine will show up next week for his birthday.
Is that a way of saying he wishes the rest of us would go away?
I think so.
That's how I took it.
Yep.
That's how I'm taking
I'm
it.
personally offended.
Don't worry. This is a perfect segue. I am going away.
See
What?
ya.
Yeah.
Or just for tonight.
No. Brittany's like, you should tell EriDan. So I came in. to
No,
tell
I
you
asked
that.
if you were going to.
Oh, okay, whatever. Either way, this doesn't affect anybody, but I'm just sharing some life news. I'm moving.
We're doing
Oh
it.
yeah.
Moving on up.
I'm moving on down to Texas.
Whoa.
Oh, what are you going to do down
All right.
there?
No.
Hopefully thrive, and hopefully thrive. No, I'm moving down there within the next 2 weeks, starting a new job.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. It's going to be very sweaty.
Yeah, it's
That's
110.
wonderful.
You
It
know
will
what's going to
affect
happen.
Your
You're gonna-
EriDan time, because I think your EriDan time will be like 7 instead of 8 or 5.
Yeah, that actually might work
Yeah.
out well for you.
You'll be
I
our
give you
first
2
Central
months
Time
till you're a
Zone.
Cowboys fan.
Oh,
Cowboy.
yeah.
Yeah, you could really get up your blog show pretty good there.
How,
Yeah.
does this,
Oh, yeah.
how will this affect your podcast?
We'll probably get some 1-star reviews for the first time ever. Who knows?
I have Mitch Trubisky in my fantasy football league.
As you should.
I know.
Be Steelers by the border. Is that what they're going to be now?
No.
Oh, there's the cat.
This is a different one.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
Cody, that's amazing. Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
congratulations.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
that hurts.
Can you tell us what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, right now what I'm going to be doing is working for Verizon. They're going to put me in a hotel 2 days a week for 3 weeks, or 3 days a week for 3 weeks for training in Austin, Texas, and pay for my travel and everything. Yeah, the pay is not going to be great at first because they try to weed out the people who aren't actually interested because it's mostly a commission-based job, like with sales and stuff. But that is A-okay, and I'm going to figure it out.
Cool.
That's fantastic. Well, that's very
Wow.
exciting.
You got a question about my
right?
phone, Cody.
You have friends?
Can you hear
have
me now?
friends there, or you at least made friends there on the flight there recently, right?
Well, I have friends down there who, like, I'm excited to see them more often, obviously, than I did now. That was my first time actually meeting them. But I'm just moving because, I don't know, I'm ready for a fresh start. I'm ready to get away from the cold in Pennsylvania and the snow and stuff. So we're
I
going
think
for
that's
it.
His
awesome.
super adorable niece. He's like, yeah, forget
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
bro.
He'd rather have 105-degree weather than his adorable niece.
I know.
105 degrees in Texas felt better than
Oh, yeah.
80 here with the lack of humidity.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was there. It was 111 in San Antonio, and we waited to go out to dinner. We're like, let's wait till 9 o'clock when it cools off to 101.
Emma's in San Antonio now. I'm curious.
Cody's
to hear
young.
about
He
her
can
views.
take it.
I couldn't.
Wow. That's very exciting, though, Cody. That's so cool.
It is. You got
Brian, your good news is right around the corner.
That's
I
right.
hope so. I
It
really
is.
do.
You're moving to Texas, Brian.
I don't want to.
Brian, I'll take you with you.
Somebody-
I'll take you with
hey,
me.
Brian, somebody's going to put you up in a hotel in no time. Don't worry.
3 days a week.
It's not
The
suspicious.
other
Grand
4
Hotel.
days you're homeless.
That's
That's
a
what he
good
didn't
move.
mention. He's homeless 4 days a week.
Uh,
Nah, it's
How's the
awesome.
movie thought going there, Stacy?
Oh, I was too busy listening to the story here.
oh,
Well, I'll tell a quick story while you're thinking of a movie. This I wrote a play 3 years ago, and it was in the play festival this past weekend, and it's all about time travel, and it was a lot of fun, and it was interesting to see people that were acting out a play like that I wrote. It was kind of cool.
nice.
That would be
That's
fun.
really cool.
Yeah,
That is-
I'd like to
yeah,
put it
that's
on
really
video.
cool.
It was great,
Yeah.
other than the nudity.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part because I didn't put that in there.
Yeah, they just decided that. The director just decided everyone's going to be nude. It was weird.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I basically took my 3 time travel movie ideas and put it into one 10-minute play. So it's like the prequel to all of the movies.
All right.
And the way I wrote the movies, or the idea, I haven't written the movies yet, but the idea is midway through the 3rd movie, you realize you're watching a trilogy. So the first movie and the second movie are not related at all. Then midway through the 3rd movie, all 3 movies tie together, and you go, "Oh my God, this is a trilogy."
All right.
I'm
And
taking-
then that makes so much money, you decide to have a 4th.
Nope, it's gonna be like Back to the Future, no 4th. Although that was one of the jokes, is that the person from the future comes back and they talk about how they've used movies to practice and learn about time travel, and they used all 9 Back to the Futures. Like the first 6 were okay, but the last 3 JJ ruined. And the writer goes, "Wait, JJ Abrams is still alive?" No, it's his great grandson,
Shame.
JJ Junior.
No, actually, it was Jimmy JJ Kid Dynamite Walker.
Ooh.
No one in the cast would have understood that reference. It's a young cast.
Not even
Actually, Scott, the director who's directing my sitcom, that's so I met him, he's directing this play. He actually wrote the JJ line. Got a good chuckle. It's the only thing my wife laughed at.
Michael Bay the 5th. Yeah.
Michael Bay is now Michael Ocean.
Michael Ismith.
Ooh. It's like, I remember when Lee Majors was Lee Private.
I
All right, Stacy.
I tell you.
All right, we can start talking about what other people are watching while we wait.
Well, she and later discuss the stuff.
We don't have to rush. You need a few
Cody
more
did put in
Okay.
private in the chat. All right, got to go. Love y'all. And they
Here we
put
go.
Texas accent.
Y'all, Texas accent.
All right, unless you've already watched this, because I haven't looked at your list. My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh
We have
my!
not.
No, we have not watched that. There it is.
Let's spray a little Windex on it.
Make sure it's available somewhere because I did not check that either.
I'm doing that right
It's
now.
available on my shelf, but
Hulu,
Dang.
HBO Max,
There you go. Yep.
Amazon.
Yep. It's actually HBO Max, Hulu.
Andrea
Star
Martin.
Plus.
So I always like that.
Like,
John
I've never
Corbett.
seen this movie.
I've never seen this.
I've
I
always
haven't
wanted
either.
to.
Yeah.
Wow.
The sequel's not great, but it's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually, this is a friend of mine, Ray, who's sometimes on the car show. He was in Reno, and I think he was either he said on the plane or the guy that was his poker dealer. Somebody was telling him that he's he got the rights to Big Fat Greek Wedding to do a third one,
Oh,
and they were trying to produce it independently.
My Big Fat Greek Funeral.
I thought they did a TV show. Didn't they do a?
Yeah.
They trying to do a
Yeah,
TV
Mia
show?
Varela, they spun off a TV show for a while, and she got a reputation as being something of a control freak.
I would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
can
think it would be fun
imagine.
to see the granddaughter get married. That would probably be a pretty funny one. With grandpa and everybody still alive.
All right. Well, that's awesome. There you go. Next week. Because there's nothing more than I need more in my life than more weddings. So thanks.
More Greek.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
All right. Let's talk about what else you've been watching. All right. Here we go. What else is going on?
What else have I been watching?
We talked a little bit about this on the pre-show. I've been watching The Boys. Nobody should watch The Boys. Do not watch.
I
The
did
Boys.
see something about The Boys, but I haven't.
No.
No?
The answer is no. The answer is
Just no.
you're forbidden to watch The Boys.
If
You were forced? Did your mom say, Adam, you will take that girl to that movie? Or did she
Oh.
say
It might have been his ex-wife.
Oh, I see.
Eric, have you ever had to DJ a Greek wedding?
Yes, I have. I didn't have to. I was
You weren't
given
forced
the
to.
pleasure. I was given the wonderful opportunity to DJ some Greek wedding. Not full on heavy duty Greek. A lot of the weddings I do have seasoning, sprinkles of different nationalities that they include, a tarantella or a hava nagila or and so you end up with a little, little flavoring of nationality, but
Yeah, that's because of where we're from.
One of the first weddings you ever did was a Jewish Catholic wedding.
That was one
my
of the
sister's
early-
wedding.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah.
A Jatholic, I believe they called it.
Well, actually, my Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 is in post production.
Oh
Wow.
Oh,
Are
So
they
this
all
guy-
in it?
I'm looking now. Nia's in it again, of course, and John Corbett,
Yes.
Andrea Martin.
Andrea Martin.
So yeah, a lot of them are back. I wouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them are back.
John Corbett and Nia Vard. Oh, they are so cute together. I love
They
them.
are. I got to agree. It was a movie that caught everybody by surprise. It was a relatively modest budget movie that. Well, I save this all for next week, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, let's not start talking already.
So I watched Uncharted. There you go.
You
Oh,
did.
I did. I'd never seen it before.
Awesome. All right.
It was
And
What do you think of
it
it?
was good. It was kind of like National Treasure meets the Goonies. I feel like a little bit.
that's fair.
I don't know.
Do you ever play the video game?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
you sound like you disappointed Brian there.
I know.
I
was
am.
thinking,
The
I
video.
got that day.
I didn't either, but I got the feeling that I would have enjoyed the movie more had I known more about the video game. Like the movie was okay, but I think I would have enjoyed it more had I been more familiar with the content.
I enjoyed it. I just think it was really predictable.
Yeah, it's
Like
fluff.
I think
it's a good popcorn movie.
yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see if they end up doing a sequel because they kind of like segued into that.
Well,
at the
they would
end a
like
little.
that.
I did get an email this week from one of the two original founders of MoviePass that they're bringing it back.
Oh,
If you remember MoviePass from 10
yeah.
years ago.
oh yes.
I'm sure it's not going to be $10 a month, but they're trying to bring it back.
Regal Cinemas has something like that now,
Well, Regal Cinema is also in bankruptcy, so
but still,
But still,
I wonder why. Maybe because there was $20 a month for unlimited movies. Yes, and they are working on National Treasure 3
yes.
with Nick Cage.
there's a treasure somewhere.
Although he was saying somebody asked him about it. He's like, no, I guess not, because they're doing a TV series without me. So I guess they're not doing, but they are doing a third movie as well.
Wow.
It's quite the franchise.
We have watched 3 episodes of Raising Hope.
Only 3?
Only 3.
Oh, we've been watching that.
Wow,
It's
I
so
have not.
good.
Is
They
that
start
next
to get-
week?
They start to get a lot more
It is
funny.
next
It'll be next week. Next week's the
Oh, I
last.
better start watching more. I've watched it a while ago. Only Murders in the Building
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
man, tomorrow
I need to
night,
start
the last
Yes.
episode.
tomorrow night. Can't wait for season 3.
I
It is.
need to start that over because I have no idea what's happening. Like I did the
Episode
first
9.
time.
Whoa, man.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I thought it was the Tina Fey character.
Shut up. Shut up.
What? It isn't didn't happen yet.
Thank you for muting him, Stacy, or whoever did.
I didn't. I think Martin Short is much stronger this season as a character than Steve Martin. Like last year, I feel like Steve Martin had a lot more depth to his character.
Well, I don't think there's any point worrying about giving away spoilers for season 1, but he was intricately involved with the
Right.
Right.
of the plot more
He
than
had a main storyline.
Yeah, but I think also
If Martin Short more of a main storyline with his son this season, which is
Right.
nice.
and they're both up for best supporting actor in a series or best. Yeah, they're competing against each other.
And Nathan Lane is so much fun. He had a much,
Oh my
he had a
goodness, I love
role
Nathan
in
Lane.
this season.
I wish I could get my eyebrows to do that. I mean, they look fake. I mean, they're like this.
Yeah, that's impressive. Anybody else watching anything else?
Better Call Saul ended.
I started watching Once Upon a Time when it was on TV. I never watched it, but I started it this past week. So.
We watched
I
that
didn't.
for a while, quite a while, first 4 or 5 seasons, and really enjoyed it. And then it got a little long.
It started getting too much into what other franchises can we throw into this smorgasbord.
Yes.
I remember like Brittany had it on when I was at her place before, but like I just didn't watch it. I didn't pay attention.
What
I
was
think
it?
when they tried to bring in Frozen was when we were like, all right, I think we're done.
Oh, Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, but that's quite some time into it. So I mean, I don't know. That would be a fun one to rewatch.
I finished it. It definitely got disappointing. Like there was a lot of cast changes towards the end, like the last season and stuff like that. For various reasons, like the actors just went to different projects, but
Yeah.
and then they switched gears and Henry was all grown up. That was...
I really liked some of the acting in it in the first season at least. So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
all I'm in
definitely.
right now. So
Oh, yeah, first
The
season's
acting-
really strong, I think.
yeah. So I'm
That's
excited
awesome.
about it.
That's awesome.
We I watched a bunch of not a bunch. I watched all 3 of the Men in Black movies.
That's a bunch. Well, no, you didn't watch the 4th one?
Oh no, I didn't. But that one's not on anything that I have yet that I know of.
All 3 of the what movies? Sorry, I missed.
Men in Black.
Oh, okay.
I barely
Richard had
even
never seen
remember.
the 3rd one, so
Oh.
Yeah.
Is
We
the
made
fourth
barely
one
even remember the last
Josh
one.
Brolin
either.
one?
No, the fourth one is the Chris Hemsworth one.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Men in
Okay.
Black.
I remember it.
the Josh Brolin one was fun.
Yes, I agree. I enjoy those. I'd watch those anytime.
yeah, that was the one Richard had never seen. That was the 3rd one. that was
Anytime you try to have an actor play another actor from in a different age range, it can be hit or miss. And I thought they really did a great job with it in 3.
It's like Rob Lowe being Robert Wagner.
Yes,
And Austin
exactly.
Powers.
That's another one that really worked.
Dr. Evil.
What about that?
Oh my goodness.
Are they ill-tempered? Oh, they're mad.
Man, I haven't seen that in a long time.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, wow, it's been a while.
Yeah,
I
I do
think it
get
was
your,
before children.
I do get what you were saying, Brittany. When there's a property you love, you have to really decide: are you going to try to tackle an adaptation? Because I'm a huge Asimov fan, and I refuse to try to watch the Foundation series that was it Amazon or somewhere recently? Because everything I read about it said, well, they added all this other great stuff to it. Like, no, No. They made it more of a soap opera. No.
They added a digital Jabba the Hutt. It'll be great. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Anne with an E, based on the Anne of Green Gables series. And this woman was like, "Oh, they put a modern a spin on the problem." No, the problems were in the first book, but they were not. Nobody cared to hear about them, like abuse and all that stuff. That's not why I read those books and loved them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just terrible.
Unlike the Wild Wild West movie, which captured things exactly the way you liked them.
Well, yeah, that was such an improvement.
You know what? I gave it a chance. I did give it a chance.
It doesn't take long into that movie to realize it doesn't deserve a chance.
No. I mean, I was willing to accept Will Smith as James West. Because I like Will Smith.
There are parts of that movie I actually do enjoy.
I'm sure.
I
wasn't credits really
it, but
absolutely no issues with.
yeah, but
I understand the problems, but
I like Kevin Kline, but that movie is a stinker.
well, he needed a punch in the head. Because he did not even research at all. He refused to watch the original. He wanted to make it his own. It's not yours. It's not yours. It's everybody else.
You know, watch if you want to see Kevin Kline, watch A Fish Called Wanda or something like that.
Yeah. He's dead to me now.
Wow.
And I love Kenneth Branagh too, and he's being Arliss Loveless. I'm like,
yeah.
No.
He's
I
not
understand.
dead.
They couldn't
He's at least not dead to you.
They
I'm
couldn't
so
be.
putting that on the wheel.
I will not be here that day.
Perfect. Richard will give it a great rating, and then it'll be on the first page.
Yeah,
first
you might
follow.
have to join. You might have to join to make sure it doesn't end up with the hundreds.
This is true.
It's my big fat Greek wedding.
That's right.
Oh,
It's not Big Fat Greek Wedding.
all right, I'll fix it.
Okay.
That's true.
And Richard is entitled to like that movie because he probably never saw the original. He doesn't have a soft spot in his heart for it. So.
I never saw the original, so I don't mind it. It's not my favorite, but I never saw the original.
And
I
some
like
people
the. Never mind. That's a spoiler. Never mind. No, I was gonna spoil the movie, so I'm
What
not
movie?
gonna. We were talking about Wild Wild West, right?
Okay, you can spoil the movie. No
That's a very old movie.
Isn't it?
I love the spider in that. It's great. The machine spider. It was wonderful.
It
Made me
was
happy.
very, what's the word for that?
It was impressive as an effect.
Yeah, that's what
It
I
made
mean.
no
Yeah,
sense whatsoever in the context of the movie.
Exactly.
I don't know what the original is or anything like that. I just like the big robot thing. You know.
Yeah, okay, but picture one of your favorite TV shows had been MASH, and all of a sudden they made a movie version with a big giant mechanical spider in it,
Which it didn't have in the other.
Really didn't have in a Korean War drama.
I got you.
Is Klinger in control of the spider? Because I'm all in for this.
Yeah.
They could call it mashed, and then they would.
All right. I get you. I'll have to look at that. I
Picture
never
Modern
knew that there was
Family is your
another.
favorite TV show, and suddenly there's a giant mechanical spider in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From
This is
your
getting
mouth.
better and better. I'm ready for this. Mechanical spiders in everything.
That's your next EriDan shirt.
Yeah.
If you
There's
have
the mechanical spider.
If you have MeTV Plus, which I didn't know that was a thing, you can find the original Wild Wild West on there, and it's streaming there. And I think it's streaming somewhere else.
It is an extremely stylish show. It is really for a relatively modest budget TV show. It really looks great.
All right. Cool.
There were some issues.
From Adam.
Oh man,
I didn't
please.
even see Lone Ranger.
I
Don't do that.
like Wild Wild West, but I didn't like Lone Ranger. So
Lone Ranger had one of Johnny Depp's most annoying performances of all time.
Other than the Amber Heard trial.
Well, and interesting that sort of Johnny Depp and Will Smith were both at similar points in their careers, where they were both riding high off of major franchises,
Yep.
right? So it was like they could do anything they want, and it was a guaranteed hit for the summer. And then,
Yep. But he tried to play Tonto like he was Jack Sparrow. It was just
that's what people loved him for, right?
No.
Everything was Jack Sparrow.
Can you imagine if he played Edward Scissorhands like Jack Sparrow?
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, that might be interesting.
Edward Scissorhands as a drunk pirate would be amazing.
Cutting people up all over the
see
place.
Pirates of the Scissorhands.
Oh, you see, I got scissors for hands.
All right, that's fantastic.
It would make sense that he's the captain then too, you know.
Oh yeah, who would
I
mess
think
with
I'll
that?
climb these ropes. Snip, 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 snip. Ah!
It practically writes itself.
Captain Scissorhands.
Wow.
I watched some classic TV. I watched a couple episodes of Welcome Back, Kotter.
Ooh.
I watched a couple episodes of Mork and Mindy, which I haven't seen in forever.
Oh.
And I think I'm going to watch Soap the whole way through. I found it on.
Oh my God.
I found it on YouTube. They've got like every episode, like here's a block of 15. Yeah.
It just
I tried to start watching it, and I loved
series.
it when it came out, and I just couldn't watch it for some reason.
That series is so good, but ends in such utter disappointment. I can't.
And it was a star maker for Billy Crystal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun
It
one.
was painful. It was painful to watch that show. I remember.
Richard Mulligan, man, he was just
Oh my
hysterical.
God.
When he thought he could turn invisible, we were just howling.
Mm-hmm.
Good. It was so good.
Didn't he play Dinah Manoff's dad in Empty Nest?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was on the show as Elaine.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what actually sent me down this rabbit hole is like I've mentioned, Becky and her husband are work together, and they had a client dinner. So we went out to dinner with them. And she told a story when she was on, somehow Robin Williams came up. She goes, oh yeah, I did an episode of Mork and Mindy. And I was so nervous that I just got all coked up.
Wow.
And she's like, years later, I saw Robin Williams. I apologize. I hope I didn't ruin the episode. I took a couple of toots. He's like, oh, I was coked up like crazy that whole series. What are you talking about?
Pretty much.
Wow.
So that's what started me down that rabbit hole. I found that episode is on YouTube.
I see.
There were really three people who came out of that series with massively bumped careers. Billy Crystal, I think Richard Mulligan got a lot better roles, and Catherine Hellman sort of came out of nowhere for a lot of people from that show. Yeah.
Which one are we talking about again?
So
Oh, okay.
did Catherine Hellman ended up on Who's the Boss, right?
Yes.
Wasn't she?
I love Who's the Boss.
Mona?
Who's the Boss? That was a good one.
Who is the boss? That's the question. Everybody wants to. I mean, there's actually college courses in determining who was the boss. Was it Tony? Was it
was the
Samantha?
It was the kids.
Mona?
The grandma.
No, I think it was Mona.
Yeah, Mona.
Adam liked Empty Nest better than the Golden Girls.
She was also the owner of the football team and coach.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's when the coach started going downhill.
So
When they
what was?
moved.
Yeah, when he went to the rebooting. Who's the boss?
Oh
No.
boy.
No.
I don't know if I'll watch it.
Finally, we'll get answers.
There was just something you just said something, and it made me think. Oh, Coach. Yeah, I haven't seen Coach in forever.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Jerry Van Dyke.
That
It's
wasn't
pretty
Yeah.
fun watching Big
The
Al.
late great
Dauber.
Jerry Van Dyke.
The guy that played Dauber. He's also the voice of Patrick Starfish.
Starfish, yeah.
Mm.
I
Do you
have
remember
not
Jerry
seen that
Van
in a
Dyke's
long
role on the
while.
Dick Van Dyke Show?
What's that?
He played Jerry Van Dyke when he was on the Dick Van
yeah.
Dyke Show, and he played the sleepwalking brother.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The other thing that was cool was Dinah Manoff was on Welcome Back, Kotter, and then 2 years later she was in Greece with John Travolta,
Mhm.
and she was on an episode of Family, and then many years later she was on Empty Nest with Christy McNichol.
Mhm.
Who had been on Family.
Right.
He was in the pirate movie.
It was in the pirate
Oh,
movie.
please. No, you had to go there, didn't you?
Pumping, blowing. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, Dinah Manoff was with Richard Mulligan.
She was in Blue Lagoon, too, wasn't she?
No, that was
Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields.
Oh no, it was a Blue Lagoon ripoff she was in. There was after Blue Lagoon was a big hit. There was another. What's that?
It was the prequel. It was the Light Blue Lagoon.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, there was
Purple Pond.
there was Sahara, which was kind of like it, and that was Phoebe Cates.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont
like
High.
Phoebe
Phoebe
Cates.
Cates.
Yeah, that's her. And what was that?
Drop Dead Fred.
Drop Dead Fred. I thought that movie was better the first time I watched it.
Now there's a movie. I don't know what somebody was on when they thought that one up.
You just never know.
No.
Yeah, a friend of mine in California, her sister went to USC when Kristen McNichol was there, so there was a lot of
Kristen McNichol. What?
at USC. So there was a lot of stories going around about her out there from her sister,
Wild.
from my friend's sister. Yeah,
She started the story?
which turned out to be true, I guess. You know.
Well, we're not talking about that.
No. Or are we?
Whoa, you all right?
No. I have to reach too far to get to my glass. So
All right, so we have our marching orders. My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Absolutely.
Don't watch The Boys unless
Right.
you're going to watch The Boys.
Unless you're ready to be offended beyond all.
And Only Murders in the Building season 2 ends tomorrow.
And lots of Raising Hope for next week.
Yeah,
Lots of
Raising
Raising
Hope.
Hope.
yeah, I'm not sure where we are in it. What do you know what season we're on?
I don't think we got into season 2 yet. There's a lot of seasons in the first, or a lot of episodes in the first season.
Yeah, that's back when they used to do 22, 24 episodes.
Yeah, it's
so.
something like that. I think we were on like 22 before they
Yeah.
switched over.
Those were the days.
What was that on? Was that on CW?
Fox.
Oh, it's a Fox show?
Yeah. We watched it back then, and then we started losing track of when it was on, and then we just forgot it. But
Yeah.
oh,
Look at that little one.
Yeah.
Aww.
hey, you.
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
It looks 3D.
She's been watching Bluey.
No, she's been. What have we had on for her? She really likes Girl Meets World, like the theme song for that show. She
Oh.
loves.
Well, she's got taste.
And she's watching The Boys.
Yeah,
Wow. She-
every night before bed.
I think that's why. I think that's the age to get started with that. she thinks it's so good. Amazing. Well, that's awesome. All right. So enjoy the movie. Get ready for some fascinating conversation next week. And we'll see you then. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.